Welcome back. I hope you had some chocolate and coffee. Monads need fohat. And fohat manifest in darkness. 72 is good. That wasn't a joke. That's in the secret doctrine. Therefore, at one point in this universe happens what I diagrammed with the Dhyan-chohans. The role of the Dhyan-chohans is to contemplate pre-existing ideas in that plane that we call buddhi, mahat, right? Contemplate those ideas. What are those ideas? We need to go to Plato. Necessary ideas to establish a universe. Which universe? Our universe. Which way? Our way. This is the universe we have. So it's easy for us, or easier for us, to understand what are those ideas that are necessary to establish a universe. This is divine wisdom, right? The key of this is that in the Secret Doctrine, Volume 1 is cosmogenesis, Volume 2 is anthropogenesis, but the aura of theosophy has to be ethics, the virtues. You see that? Not because we know that virtue is good, but the ideas Plato told us are the virtues. Each virtue represents a number, a god or a goddess, a force in nature, a vibration. So for initiates in ancient Greece, when they saw Athena, they saw a virtue, a vibration, a law, a force, a power informing the universe, regardless of how Homer wrote. Remember, Plato said Homer is no good because mythology is not reality, right? The mythology of Homer he didn't like because God do not lie, God do not violate and rape, God do not, you know what I mean? He said, these are esoteric ideas. They don't procreate. Procreation in mythology means descending to a lower level. Father, mother, son. The son is the universe, which is a level down. You see that? It's generation. It's the vahan, the vehicle to keep going down. So Plato said, it's better to clean the vocabulary of Homer and Hesiod, and he spoke about censorship, and nobody likes Plato. Nobody likes censorship. But what he was trying to do is to make sure that we don't say, if Jupiter did, why not me? Right? If Jehovah did, why not me? Right? If it's an eye for an eye up there in heaven, why not an eye for an eye here? True? This is what happened. And that's why also the Republic of Plato in Book 1 starts with the idea of justice. Look what he does. As we tell ourselves and others what justice is our level of consciousness. If I say to you, justice for me is an eye for an eye, this is who I am. You see that? If I say that justice is what the strongest tyrant wants, this is my idea of justice. I will not be able to give you justice till I own you, till you are a slave of mine, till you are under me. You know what I mean? Then when we have a power, this is justice, this is the law. This is the conversation in Book 1 of the Republic. he wants to show that the soul reflects how we do justice what we are, the level of consciousness that we have. Therefore, when you work and walk in life, watch yourself how you do justice. You are judges, right? And as a judge of your own life, this is what you need to watch. Why? Plato said that. It's very cool. Plato is very cool. He said that. So it must be very important. His vision is very good. It's a great vision of a society based on virtues. One of them is justice. So again, we are not here so you can tell us your idea of justice, right? But do it at home. This is your own life you're dealing with, and we got to improve that. Otherwise, what's going to happen? A myth is going to swallow you, digest you, and you come back. Yeah, the three parts of a myth. This is sound effects, right? I hope you appreciate we live in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, right? And sound effects are very important to us, right? And they're very loud, but I'm trying to be quiet here. Because it sounds, my wife hates that. So the sound of Hollywood. So we got to understand ideas. This is the key, right? Now, to get to the ideas, we have several choices. We study them in books like Plato, in books like The Secret Doctrine, or looking inside ourselves, but we got to do it, one way or another. Okay? So, let's continue. The Secret Doctrine, therefore, is going to unveil a universe where we need deities. The Dhyan Chohans are called. So not only we need a force and law and substance and matter like scientists, but we need intelligence. And I think that's why we're here, because we see that this is not blind forces. This is not a random universe. This is a universe, you and me are here, and we are intelligent beings. Right? We have intelligence. And therefore, we are reflection of the universal intelligence. That intelligence is what the number 3 gives to the stanzas of Dzyan. In number 3, this is the third idea of the Secret Doctrine, and it's called the third logos. First logos we saw, the idea of unity. Second logos we saw is the duality, and what duality does. They create the fabric of the universe, and they veil the unity, and they create the fabric of the universe, which is the third logos. So far, so good? Third logos. Logos in the sense of they are events in the universe. Now, in the third logos, you're going to have the idea of the creator in all religions, the deity that creates the universe. Like in the Bible, it's Jehovah with the Elohims. They're going to create the universe. Blavatsky defined logos, the creative deity in all traditions. So that deity is described in stanza 3:7. And in 3:7, we're going to have a mythical and mystical vision of what we call the Zeus, the Jupiter, the Jehovah, the Amun-Ra, the creator in every religion. This is the moment of let there be a universe. We already have light, right? Because darkness radiates light. But now we have we need a universe. This is the moment in the Bible that God creates the planets and the things in the universe. So, what's interesting about 3:7, and again, 3:7 is the description and function of that deity. And this is the vocabulary that is used in all of them or in some of them. This is the theological, mystical, mythical, scientific vocabulary that describes the moment of creation or manifestation of the universe, right? This is the mystery of creation, so to speak, manifestation, emergence. And it's very beautiful because in English, we have the word behold. And it's not a word that is meant to be physical beholding. It's beholding of an idea. It's beholding of something extremely divine. Behold. It's not like, hey, look at this. No, it's not that colloquial. It's very mystical. Behold. Look with your inner eyes. An incredible, radiant idea. Are you with me? Behold. Stop and look with your soul at something that is beyond you and me. That if you see with your physical eyes, you will miss it. Behold is extremely elevating moment. Therefore, the third logos is the reflection of the first logos, right? The one, the two, and then we have the three. The three is the reflection of the first, and there are two beholds in this sloka. One is the description of the third logos, and second is the function, what it does. You see that? Description and function. And this is what how our mind works. I want a name, I want a description, and I want function, what they do. This is how our mind works. So every time you encounter something you don't know, you need a name. Named is a mantra of that. And then you need a description and you need a function. Here we're going to have a name, we're going to have a description, and we're going to have what it does. So far, so good? So, listen well. The way to study this, by the way, is that you take every idea of the third logos and you work out the image of it till you contemplate it. For instance, behold Lanu. You know what Lanu means, right? Student of Theosophy. Right? That's what it means. Huh? Disciple. Student of Theosophy. Behold. The first idea, the radiant child of the two. Do you see it? This is the number 3. It comes from the 2. Which 2? Well, in one of the ways, is the eternal parent wrapped in the ever-invisible robes. It could be Father, Mother, Swavavat. There are many names of that. If you are Egyptian in your previous life, well, Osiris and Isis, right? If you were, or if you love Indian mythology, it could be Brahma and Sarasvati, right? Things like that. So you, if you are, well, etc. You got enough, right? You got the idea. It's the son of 2, right? It's the number 3. Remember, third logos. So when you see the third logos, you need to know there is a 2 before, and it's radiant. Why is radiant? Darkness radiates light. See that? So we know it's a friend of us. Darkness and light are friends now. We know what they mean. We study them. We link them. We illustrate them. We look for them in mythology, in museums, and etc. We know all about it. The radiant child of the two. Does this give you an image of what the third logos is? The idea of the two, the idea of radiancy. You see that? You got to work this out. Every line is something to behold with our inner eyes. Second, the unparalleled refulgent glory. You know what unparalleled is? There is nothing like that. Refulgent is what? Puff. Sound effect, flash of light. Refulgent. Puff. Why? Darkness radiates light. Puff. You like the poof? No. Paw! Right. Glory. Oh my God. When you see the third logos in its glory, it's radiating, it's full of light. Look at the pictures, paintings of the third logos in great masters. They are incredible, full of light and auras and angels, and it's glory everywhere. Have you had that moment of glory in your life? Well, I just had a little one. At the human level, of course. I mean, I know that the Anchohan, you all get this one moment or another. Of course, with love and beauty, we have this moment that we are in heaven, in glory, right? Where the choir of angels are there singing to us. And we are, right? Effulgent glory. So this is the third logos. You can see that how the great masters painted that refulgent glory. It's very beautiful. We got to dwell there a little bit. Then, very physical description. Bright space sun of dark space. We know about that, right? The state of absoluteness, darkness in the circle. Now is the sun, the bright space. So what bright space does? It veils the dark space, which is the ultimate mystery. Where we come from. This is home. If you forget home, close your eyes a little bit and be in the silent solitude of your body. Don't do it now, you will fall asleep. But at home, right? You close your eyes and you are in that silence, right? In that voice of the silence. And if you can quiet your mind, right? This is the moment that we are at home, right? All the way to that original, long, long time ago, darkness. And darkness has something really special. There is an imprint in our soul that knows that that is the symbol of totality, of unity, of the mystery of all. This is very important. It's the first logos. It is Oahu the younger. It's interesting, this word, because it names it. It names it with a sound that is extremely powerful, mystical. It's a mantra. Very vowel. You know vowels? It's those vowels that sounds. Doesn't have the stop of T, P, M. It just flows in the universe. It's that incredible power. Wow. Wow. If you can say it perfectly, you tap into the energy of the third logos and the first logos. Quan Sha Yin is one of the names that in the footnote, right? Blavatsky tells us. She likes Quan Sha Yin. If you don't like Quan Sha Yin, too bad. She liked Quan Sha Yin. So look for Quan Sha Yin in statues. It's very pretty. Get familiar, but it's everywhere. So look for the one you like. You like Shiva, use Shiva. Vishnu, use Vishnu. Any others you like? Jehovah, don't paint it. You're going to get killed. Allah, don't even try to paint Allah. But again, these are sacred words, right? These are sacred words because they represent sacredness. And we cannot really make fun of that. This is the sacredness of the divine wisdom. That's why Blavatsky, I think, also did not write here the name, to show sacredness. This is very important, very important. We should not make, even though, remember, we don't like censorship, we should not make fun of the third logos. Cartoons, they're funny, and I'm funny too, but we should not. There should be some moments of sacredness. There must be some sacred things in life, right? If not, let's study Plato. He explains why. He also, and I'm using he because she personalizes as a male, third logos, shines forth as the sun. And we know about the sun, right? The radiant child of the two. We have spoken about the sun. And then, very Indian, I'm Chinese, I'm sorry, he's the blazing divine dragon of wisdom. You see that? So we go to a museum, we look for dragons. And we find wonderful dragons everywhere in Asia. It's just a wonderful world of dragons. Pre-Columbian America is very good with dragons. Quetzalcoatl was a dragon, right? The feather snake, and so on. So we can look at, in other parts of the world, how it was depicted. And again, in China, is the divine dragon of wisdom. And then comes the geometry, arithmetic that we all like, right? And this is for those who likes Pythagorean and Plato and Hermetism, and also the mystery of the seven, which is he's the one, but he's the four. The four takes to three, produces the seven, because what's going to happen after the three is, of course, the four and the seven, which is natural, and we're going to see that in a minute, right? So now comes what is coming after that. Remember that every number is something in itself. It veils the past, but it has to have it, and it shows the future, past, present, and future. Every idea has to give you all that, unless you are in the one, the idea of unity. But in the one is the idea of the two. Behind the one, absoluteness, darkness. So far, so good? But when you see the three, you have to see that it veiled mother and father, and that's why in mythology, sometimes the third, have problems with the second, like Zeus and his father Kronos trying to devour him. Did you see that painting? Kronos devouring his sons, right? Very impressive, horrible story, censored by Plato, if he could. But that's the idea, that there is veiling and they don't want to veil, the war in heaven. So, but in the description of the three is also the four. But the four with the three is going to give me the seven because the universe is septenary. So it's always there, and so on and so on. There is a host after that. Host means the hierarchy of divine beings is endless. Almost endless, huh? Well, we studied that. Almost endless. Then comes the second behold. This is who and this is what. What the third logos does. So far, so good? Two beholds. The second behold is he lifted the veil and unfurling it from east to west. East to west. What happened from east to west? The sun. Yeah? So there is an image of the sun, right? Enlightening the universe. There is something magical happening because also the sun is an image of the third logos, right? He shuts out the above, he veils the above, and leaves the below to be seen as the great illusion. So now the above, the world of the mystical ideas, is totally veiled, and what we have is Maya, illusion. See what he does? So in the third logos, Maya totally appears with all the powers of Maya. He marked the places for the seven, the primordial seven, the Dhyan Chohans, and turns the upper into a shoreless sea of fire, and the one manifested, below, the great waters. So above is symbolized by fire, heaven, and below is symbolized by matter, water. So what he does this, heaven and earth, fire and water. So in the Bible you have that when a prophet describes, a mystic describes the heaven, he sees a fire. Look at the vision of Ezekiel. There is a cloud and a fire, and there is a chariot come. He's describing the third logos, right? And so on. So he marked the places for the shiny ones. From the third logos, the seven show up. So if you take this piece of paper, which is very cool, and thank you for printing like this. This is a wonderful paper also. Isn't that true? And we go to stanza 5.1. 5.1. It explains then what is meant by the seven. And it says, the primordial seven, we're linking the divine dragon of wisdom, the dragon of wisdom. The primordial seven, and that's the seven that we just read, right? When he says that he marks the places for the shining ones. So the primordial seven, and if you link all the sevens, you will have the following names. The seven sublime in 1.6, the luminous sons in 2.1, and so on, right? 7 is the Dhyan Chohans. So in 5.1, now it says, the primordial seven, the first seven breath of the dragon of wisdom. You see that? So it's describing this third logos as a dragon of wisdom, and it's going to tell us what's going to happen next, because numbers are unfolding as idea of the universe, as ideas of the universe. So listen to this. The primordial seven, which are the first seven breaths of the dragon of wisdom. So can you imagine that? You have the third logos that is its image or symbol or metaphorically is described as a dragon of wisdom. Are you with me? The primordial, right? I mean the number 3, right? The third logos is described as a dragon of wisdom. What it's doing now is breathing fire, right? You know the dragons are full of fire, breath of fire, right? So avoid dragons. Yes? Avoid dragons. Why? You're going to be burnt. And that's pure Fohat. So the primordial seven, and imagine this, please. The first 7 breaths of the dragon of wisdom. So mythically, or mythologically, allegorically, symbolically, metaphysically, occultedly, and so on, you have a dragon with 7 breaths, Each of those breaths is a Dzyan Chohan, a hierarchy of these celestial beings who are going to do that. They're going to contemplate the ideas, and the ideas are passive. They are there. The divine Chohans are active, and when they contemplate, divine ideation shows up and Fohat. This is what you're going to see. You see that? And when you have Fohat, bridge between ideas and Swabhavat, matter, right? Substance, universe is formed. And the bridge, laws of nature. And the information of the universe, of the ideas. One of those ideas is justice, beauty, harmony, symmetry, and so on. You see what's happening? All these ideas are going to inform through the divine will, through the contemplation of the Dzyan Chohans. That's why we need deity. And there is a bridge, a beautiful bridge, that is full of light, informing the physical universe. And Plato told us that when we see that physical universe, and we are able to contemplate and to see that beauty, we fall in love with the things here because we are seeing the ideas up there. You see how easy it is? It all makes sense? I hope so. You almost graduated. Almost. Almost. I just want to tell you that you can read 1,000,000 times the secret doctrine and always find more. But contemplating these ideas is the work. The whole purpose is to move from mind to soul, to spirit, so to speak, to buddhi. We have better terms. From manas to buddhi. And of course, kama manas, what's in it for me, should be quiet. We should move up. This is divine wisdom. It's not thinking about divine wisdom. That's important to do. It takes many years to contemplate these high realities. But we got to do it. One way to do it is linking single ideas, visualize them, and contemplate them. Then what happens? Remember, we need Fohat. These primordial seven, who are this, and by the way, by now you should be drawing a dragon with 7 breaths. Each breath is a Dzyan Chohan, right? A Dhyani Buddha. You can go to Tibet and get them, right? And draw them. And you have favorite. Mine is Amitabha Buddha, and he's one of them, right? But you can have another one. I don't mind. It's not mine. But you have Adi Buddha, and you have the 5 manifested. There are 2 to manifest, and it's all beautiful. And when you see them in turn, and we continue reading, in their turn, from their holy circumgyrating breath, the fiery whirlwind. They produce these primordial 7 from their circumgyrating breath, Fohat. Fohat is called fiery whirlwind. So far, so good? Right? Earlier, when they contemplate the idea, Fohat established. Here, in another image, from their breath, Fohat shows up as a fiery whirlwind. See that? Then what happens? We need the next 7. And the next 7 happens like this. They make of Fohat the messenger of their will. Their wisdom becomes Fohat, now it's 1, right? And then, look at the next line. The swift son of the divine sons, whose sons are the Lipika, the second 7s. So, did you follow that line? First, Lipika are the second 7. How do we know that? Well, you may not know it, but we skip that line. And it's on 4:6. If you read 4:6, it says here, Then, are you with me? Then, the second 7, who are the Lipika. You see that? When you find something new, it's a new idea, you're going to link it. And if you link, you get the idea. Right? Who are the Lipika? They are the second 7. It comes out automatically. In the stanzas of Dzyan, everything is linked. Every link gives you a little bit more. The trick is some of the late stanzas are linked into anthropogenesis. So we need to keep going. But that's the idea. So far, so good? So in their turn, the Lipika are the sons of the primordial 7. Because it says here, the divine sons, whose sons are the Lipikas. So what do? When you see the third logos, you need to see that its expression, or his expression, are 7 breaths, who are the primordial 7, whose breath is Fohat, whose son are the Lipikas. And we already said sun, the idea of the sun, generation, in mythology, in occultism, in theosophy means the next level. So in the next level, in stanza 5, we're going to have, at that level, 2 new actors, Fohat and the Lipikas. Fohat is a divine will manifest in the universe. Lipikas are going to say, this is what you're going to do. This is what it's going to inform the ring past knot, the laws, the limits, the divine plan. So in stanza 5, as Fohat established in the universe, the Lipikas are describing the ring past knot, which is a beautiful idea in theosophy, right? You're familiar with the idea of ring past knot. So they are at another level below the third, where the first 7 are the next level, the level 4, and the next level you have Fohat and the Lipika working. Easy? It's so simple, isn't it? It's so simple. It's right there. You just follow the link. Follow the link. And then at one point, you're going to have a universe where you and me are here. We are full of energy, I hope. But we have a limit of what we can do. True? Marked by the Lipikas. This is our stanzas of Dzyan so far. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Then it's time to shake this. Let's take 5-10 minutes. Let's shake it up. Thank you. Thank you. If you have a Lipika in your shoulder, it's not a Lipika. No, it hurts for you sitting down an hour.